Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is going to change everything you think you know about XRP. I'm sitting here right now, and I can't contain my excitement. The news I just received, the patterns I'm seeing, the convergence of events happening right now, it's all pointing to one massive, earth-shattering explosion in XRP's price that's going to make early investors incredibly wealthy. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've been in this game for years. I've seen pumps, I've seen dumps, I've made money, I've lost money. But what I'm witnessing right now with XRP is something I've never seen before in my entire career. The stars are aligning in a way that's making my hand shake as I speak to you. Let me start with the breaking news that just hit my desk 30 minutes ago. The Federal Reserve is about to make a decision that's going to send shockwaves through the entire cryptocurrency market, but XRP is positioned like no other digital asset to capitalize on this moment. We're talking about interest rate cuts that could trigger the biggest bull run in crypto history. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely fired up. This isn't just about the Fed. This is about a perfect storm of events that's been building for months, and XRP is sitting right at the center of it all, like a coiled spring ready to explode. I need you to understand something right now. While everyone else is distracted by Bitcoin, while they're chasing the latest meme coins, while they're getting caught up in the noise, something massive is happening with XRP that most people are completely missing. The smart money knows. The institutions know. The question is, do you know? Let me paint you a picture of what's really going on behind the scenes. I've been tracking whale movements for weeks now, and what I'm seeing is unprecedented accumulation. These aren't retail investors buying a few hundred XRP here and there. These are massive institutional players loading up their bags like they know something the rest of us don't. Just yesterday, I witnessed a single transaction of over 50 million XRP moving from exchanges to cold storage. 50 million XRP. Do you understand what that means? That's someone with serious money betting everything on XRP's future. That's not speculation. That's conviction based on inside information. But the whale activity is just the beginning. Let me tell you about the regulatory landscape that's about to transform XRP from a controversial altcoin into the backbone of the global financial system. The clarity we've been waiting for isn't coming, it's already here. The legal battles that have been holding XRP back are becoming the very foundation of its explosive growth. I remember when everyone said XRP was dead. I remember the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt. People were selling their bags at 20 cents, 30 cents, convinced it was over. Those same people are going to be watching from the sidelines as XRP rockets past $5, $10, and beyond. The technical analysis is screaming right now. I'm looking at charts that are making my head spin with excitement. We've got a massive ascending triangle that's been forming for over 2 years. The resistance levels that have been holding XRP down are crumbling one by one. The volume is increasing exponentially. Every single indicator I use is flashing bright green buy signals. But you know what's really got me convinced that we're about to witness history? It's not just the technicals, it's not just the whale activity, it's not just the regulatory clarity, it's the utility partnerships that are being announced almost daily now. Central banks around the world are adopting XRP technology for cross-border payments. Major financial institutions are integrating Ripple solutions into their existing infrastructure. Countries are exploring XRP as a bridge currency for international trade. This isn't theoretical anymore. This is happening right now, today, as I speak to you. I got a call this morning from someone who works inside one of the largest banks in the world. I can't mention names, but what they told me sent chills down my spine. They're preparing for a complete transformation of how international payments work, and XRP is at the center of it all. The implementation dates are already set, the systems are being tested, the launch is imminent. Do you realize what this means for XRP's price? When a digital asset becomes essential infrastructure for the global financial system, when it becomes the oil that lubricates international commerce, when it becomes impossible to ignore or replace, that's when prices don't just go up, they explode into the stratosphere. I've been doing the math, and the numbers are staggering. If XRP captures even a tiny fraction of the international payments market, we're looking at a market cap that would put it in competition with Bitcoin. But here's the kicker. XRP is actually useful. It solves real problems. It saves banks millions of dollars in transaction costs and settlement times. The current price of XRP is laughable when you consider what's coming. We are trading at levels that will seem like a historical footnote when we look back 5 years from now. This is the opportunity that creates generational wealth. This is the moment that separates the smart money from the crowd. I want to share something personal with you. 6 months ago, I made a decision that my family thought was crazy. I liquidated a significant portion of my traditional investment portfolio and went heavy into XRP. Not because I'm a gambler, not because I believe in get-rich-quick schemes, but because I did my homework. I studied the technology, I analyzed the partnerships, I followed the money, and everything pointed to the same conclusion. XRP is not just another cryptocurrency. It's the future of money movement, and we're about to witness its transformation from a speculative asset to a global utility that every bank, every government, every corporation will need to use. The Federal Reserve's upcoming decision is just the catalyst. Lower interest rates mean more liquidity in the system. More liquidity means more risk appetite. More risk appetite means money flowing into alternative assets. But this time is different because XRP isn't just an alternative asset anymore. It's becoming essential infrastructure. I've been tracking correlations between traditional markets and crypto, and what I'm seeing is unprecedented. XRP is starting to decouple from Bitcoin's movements. It's developing its own price dynamics based on utility and adoption rather than speculation and sentiment. This is exactly what happens when an asset transitions from experimental to institutional. Let me share some numbers that are going to blow your mind. The traditional cross-border payments market processes over $5 trillion annually. 5 trillion. If XRP captures just 1% of that market, just 1%, we're looking at $50 billion in annual transaction volume. But here's where it gets crazy. The velocity of money in the XRP ecosystem means that same 50 billion in transaction volume could support a market cap of several $100 billion. We're not talking about XRP going to $2 or $3. We're talking about a fundamental repricing based on utility that could take XRP to double digits and beyond. The smart money isn't just buying XRP for a quick profit. They're accumulating it as a long-term infrastructure play that's going to generate returns for decades. But timing is everything in this game. The window of opportunity is closing fast. Every day that passes, more institutional players are entering the market. Every partnership announcement, every regulatory clarity, every central bank adoption pushes XRP further away from retail accessibility and closer to institutional capture. I'm seeing signs everywhere that the explosion is imminent. Social media sentiment is shifting from skepticism to FOMO. Google search trends are spiking. Exchange inflows are decreasing while outflows are increasing, indicating long-term accumulation strategies. The derivatives market is positioning for massive upward movement. The psychological resistance levels that have been holding XRP back are being systematically destroyed. We broke through 50 cents like it was paper. 60 cents didn't even slow us down. The next major resistance isn't until we hit the previous all-time high, and once we break that, there's literally nothing stopping us until we reach price discovery mode in uncharted territory. I need you to understand the magnitude of what's happening. This isn't just another bull run, This is the emergence of XRP as a cornerstone of the new financial system. Central bank digital currencies are being built on XRP technology. International payment rails are being restructured around XRP's capabilities. The Internet of Value that Ripple has been talking about for years isn't a vision anymore. It's being constructed right now, and XRP is the native currency. The regulatory environment that once seemed like XRP's biggest obstacle has become its greatest advantage. While other cryptocurrencies are facing increasing scrutiny and potential restrictions, XRP has achieved the clarity that institutional investors demand. It's not a security. It has utility. It serves a clear purpose in the financial ecosystem. It's everything that regulators want from a digital asset. But here's what really has me excited about the immediate future. The Federal Reserve isn't just considering a rate cut. They're potentially considering a significant rate cut. Market makers are positioning for 50 basis points or more. That level of monetary stimulus is going to flood the market with liquidity, and a significant portion of that liquidity is going to flow into risk assets like cryptocurrency. However, this time, the smart money isn't going to chase speculative plays. They're going to chase utility. They're going to chase assets with real-world use cases, regulatory clarity, and institutional adoption. XRP checks every single one of those boxes better than any other cryptocurrency in existence. I've been studying historical patterns of how assets perform during monetary expansion cycles, and what I'm seeing suggests that we're about to enter the most explosive phase of XRP's price appreciation. The combination of increased liquidity, decreased regulatory uncertainty, and exponential utility growth creates a perfect storm for price appreciation that could dwarf anything we've seen in the cryptocurrency space. The technical setup is absolutely beautiful right now. We've got a massive cup and handle formation that's been developing for over 3 years. The breakout volume is confirming the pattern. The momentum indicators are all aligned for sustained upward movement. Even the most conservative technical analysis suggests we're heading for a minimum of 3 to 5 times current prices in the near term. But I'm not interested in conservative estimates. I am interested in what happens when an asset transitions from speculative to essential. I'm interested in what happens when scarcity meets exponential demand. I'm interested in what happens when the global financial system adopts a digital asset as critical infrastructure. The supply dynamics of XRP are incredible. With a maximum supply of 100 billion tokens and significant portions locked in escrow or held by institutions, the circulating supply available for trading is much smaller than most people realize. When demand explodes, and it's about to explode, the price action is going to be violent to the upside. I want to share something that happened to me last week. I was at a financial conference and I overheard a conversation between 2 central bank officials discussing their cross-border payment pilots. They weren't talking about whether to use XRP technology. They were talking about implementation timelines and integration challenges. This is happening behind closed doors right now, and most retail investors have no idea. The institutional adoption curve is accelerating exponentially. What took Bitcoin years to achieve in terms of institutional recognition, XRP is accomplishing in months. But unlike Bitcoin, which is primarily a store of value play, XRP has immediate utility that generates real economic value for its users. The network effects are starting to compound. Every new bank that adopts RippleNet makes the network more valuable for existing participants. Every new corridor that opens up increases the utility of XRP as a bridge currency. Every new partnership validates the technology and attracts additional partners. This is how exponential adoption curves develop, and we're right at the inflection point. I've been running scenarios in my head about where XRP could be trading in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months from now. The conservative scenarios have me excited. The optimistic scenarios have me literally losing sleep because I can't stop thinking about the implications. If the Federal Reserve cuts rates aggressively and maintains an accommodative stance, if institutional adoption continues at its current pace, if regulatory clarity continues to improve globally, if the utility partnerships keep expanding. We're not talking about XRP reaching new all-time highs. We're talking about XRP redefining what's possible for a cryptocurrency's market capitalization. The psychological barrier of $1 is going to be obliterated. The resistance at previous highs is going to be meaningless. When institutional money starts flowing into XRP based on utility rather than speculation, traditional technical analysis becomes irrelevant because we're entering unprecedented territory. I keep coming back to the fundamental value proposition. XRP solves a $1 trillion problem in the global financial system. It reduces settlement times from days to seconds. It eliminates the need for pre-funded nostro accounts. It provides transparency and traceability that traditional correspondent banking can't match. This isn't theoretical. This is happening right now in live production environments. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Global inflation concerns are driving central banks toward more efficient payment systems. Geopolitical tensions are highlighting the need for neutral, decentralized financial infrastructure. Digital transformation initiatives are forcing banks to modernize their technology stacks. XRP addresses all of these trends simultaneously. I'm seeing early indicators that major exchanges are preparing for massive XRP volume. Trading infrastructure is being upgraded, liquidity pools are being expanded, institutional custody solutions are being implemented. These aren't coincidences. These are preparations for what's coming. The derivative markets are starting to price in significant upward movement. Options volume is spiking. Futures positioning is becoming increasingly bullish. Professional traders are positioning for volatility to the upside. These are leading indicators that precede major price movements by days or weeks. But beyond all the technical analysis, beyond all the fundamental analysis, beyond all the institutional adoption metrics, there's something else that has me absolutely convinced we're about to witness history. It's the feeling I get when everything starts clicking into place. It's the same feeling I had before every major breakout I've witnessed in my career. The market is starting to realize that XRP isn't just another cryptocurrency competing for speculative investment. It's infrastructure. It's the plumbing of the new financial system. It's as essential to the future of global commerce as the internet is to modern communication. When an asset transitions from speculative to infrastructural, the price appreciation isn't linear, it's exponential. We're not talking about gradual increases over time. We're talking about explosive moves that happen faster than most people can react to. The setup is perfect. The timing is ideal. The catalysts are aligning. The institutional interest is real. The utility case is proven. The regulatory clarity is achieved. The technical patterns are confirming. The fundamental value proposition is undeniable. This is the moment. This is the opportunity. This is when fortunes are made and financial futures are determined. XRP isn't just going to the moon. It's going to redefine what we thought was possible for a digital assets valuation based on real-world utility. The explosion isn't coming tomorrow or next week or next month. The explosion is happening right now, today, as institutional money recognizes what a small group of us have known for years. XRP isn't just a cryptocurrency. It's the future of money, and that future is arriving faster than anyone expected. Are you ready? Because ready or not, the XRP revolution is here, and it's about to change everything.